Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another Monday quarterback video for you. I'm going to play this video and talk about things that are going on to better explain what's going on and talk about things that I think that are being done right and or done wrong. Here we go. Excuse me. Alright, I'll back that up. So what we're looking for right here is this guy right here. He is on his little moped scooter. You're going to go right into this intersection and get hit. Play that again. So that's a fast hit. Someone who's going to be in a or on a moped or motorcycle like that, they're not going to be protected like compared to a person who's inside a vehicle. Inside a vehicle, you have the structure of that vehicle itself protecting you, and then also, depending on the age of it, you have the added benefit of some technology like airbags that can deploy, that can further help you. And even, again, the age of the vehicle, just the design of it and what's featured into it can go a long way in protecting you. Motorcycles and mopeds, like, there ain't shit there. It's what you wear on your body that protects you in a crash. And even then, it's limited in what it can do. So hits like this are oftentimes fatal for the moped / motorcycle operator. Now I'll back this up so you see it again. So the light for this guy is green, right? It's green, and it'll show the police officer's body cam footage, and you'll see that when he goes through the light, it's red. But it's green, still green, it's not changing, and then bam. And then pay attention to the light still, boom, now it turns yellow, now it turns red. So that moped guy had the green light to go all the way through. Then that police car came through his red light pretty damn fast. So we'll continue to play the rest of this. So it's in buffer mode. When cameras are in buffer mode, there is no audio, so all we see is video. Now you can see this dude's scooting. Like, he is fucking going along. Some of these intersections he's going through are lighted intersections, meaning there's a traffic signal. This one's red. He just completely blew through it. You'll see some stop signs go by in view. He's just blowing through those stop sign intersections. Like that one right there. Just blew right fucking through it. And then he'll come up on the intersection where he hits the guy, and you'll see that the light is red. So that was a red one. He blew through that one. I think it's this one. Boom. Back that up. So you can see he has red light. But we'll back it up even further. Just see how fast he's going through these intersections. And then I don't know if I'll pause it in time or not, but like you could see the dude like going up, like because he had like an orange colored shirt on. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to pause it right on time. Get that perfect freeze frame. Boom. What do you know? I did it. Right fucking there. So you can actually see this guy's arm right there. That looks like his arm. This looks like his upper torso area, maybe his head. So, I'm not even going to try and redo this. I'll just stop right here. And also in the background, we got the red lights. So this is a perfect freeze frame. Emergency vehicle operations. So it's impossible to know what each state says as far as their traffic laws when it comes to emergency vehicles having lights and siren. Lights and siren is realistically, it's just a request. It's a notification to other motorists that, hey, this vehicle is coming. It's an emergency vehicle. Yield. Like, please get out of the way. Let it through. Just the same as you normal day person, your car, you've got your turn signals on. You're just notifying other people, hey, I intend to turn left here. Please slow down. Don't fucking rear end me or whatever. Lights and siren, the same thing. It's just notifying other people, hey, I'm coming through. Please, get the hell out of my way. Please stop for me. There are, certain laws within the states that make it obviously a criminal offense for people to disregard those emergency vehicles. Like if you don't pull over for an emergency vehicle in some states, you can be ticketed for it, given a citation, etc. Within those states, again, each state varies in its laws, but you have simple speeding laws, right? So if it's a 55 mile per hour zone, if you go any faster than that, that's a criminal offense. Well, it's written in the law that emergency vehicles can go over that posted speed limit, but with due regard. So they can technically break the law in a sense. However, they just can't blatantly do it without any due regard to other people's safety. They have to take in road conditions and everything into factor. And although they can speed above that speed limit, it doesn't mean that they are 100% justified in doing so just because they have emergency equipment on. They still have to, or still should be doing certain things, like when coming across an intersection, slowing down at that intersection, looking both ways, especially if it's a red light. Like you come across a red light or a stop sign, you should be coming to, the curriculum that is taught, you should be coming to a fucking stop and looking left and right and then proceeding forward. You can do, what people refer to as a California stop. You just kind of roll. You come to a very slow crawl almost, and you're still moving forward. You're just not moving very fast, rolling through the intersection, looking left and right. Once it's clear, you make eye contact with the motorist, and then you punch it and bust through that one. So, agencies, can vary on what their policies are with lights and siren, how they handle stuff. Some are more detailed. Some are just, it just basically reflects what the state law says, drive with due regard. So was this officer driving with due regard? I don't think so. We could see through his camera footage that he went through some intersections that were red light and stop sign super fucking fast. Did not slow down one bit whatsoever. Continued to go balls to the wall, high speed through them. Ideally, in an urban area, especially urban, like with this construction here with the buildings, so close up to the intersections, you can't really see around them very well. Coming up on intersections like this, you should slow down. You really should. You should slow down, especially if it's a red light or a stop sign. Come to a slow. Now, ideally, like I said, almost all curriculum out there that we'll talk about it will say come to a complete stop. But come either to a stop or damn near a stop, just slowly rolling forward. And if there's other vehicles around, establish eye contact with those motorists. Make sure that you know that they see you, and you can, depending on how many lanes and everything is, if it's just a classic 4-way intersection, each is like 2-lane. You come to that intersection, make a stop, establish eye contact with the motorist who'd be going through that intersection, and then start to slowly proceed through, and then you can punch it and go on to the next. If it's a very large intersection where there's multiple lanes, then you should realistically be slowing at or stopping at those additional lanes and making eye contact with the motorist, because there are certain intersections and roadways where there's multiple lanes involved, and you could have a line of cars in that one lane and you see them all stopped, but as soon as you get past that lane, that second lane, boom, cars are going. And there's a potential to miss a vehicle, and that vehicle miss seeing you, and then barrel on through. This happens a lot with people who are just being courteous, or they think they're being courteous, motorists, by stopping in the middle of the fucking road to let a person turn left out of somewhere. And what do? They're crossing 2 lanes. That first lane where that person stopped at, they can see him fine. But behind them in that second lane, they can't see the other vehicle, and the other vehicle can't see them. So as soon as they come across and through there, bam, they get fucking hit. See that shit all the fucking time. There's a section of road in my town. It's on the bypass, right where like these fast food places are. And people will do that shit, man. They will fucking stop and wanting to be kind and let these people out. They're turning left on a 4-lane road, essentially, right? Like that's during daytime traffic. That shouldn't even be an option. That shouldn't even be allowed. Which is why a lot of towns, a lot of municipalities have erected barriers at certain places on the roadway to prevent people from even attempting to turn left out of a place and go across multiple lanes of traffic. It's fucking dangerous, and it impedes traffic. But I cannot tell you how many times I've come across shit like this where someone was trying to be courteous, stop, let people out, and then boom, as soon as I get in that second lane, still going forward to turn all the way left and get into their lane they're supposed to be in, bam, they get fucking hit by someone who's coming up through that lane. Of course, they see green light ahead. They're going normal speed like they would, and boom, a car out of nowhere appears. And happens to regular citizens all the damn time in scenarios like that. As far as emergency vehicles go, there are accidents, of course, with emergency vehicles. But they're avoidable, especially in situations like this, where you're coming across an intersection and the best thing to do for due regard is to slow down at that intersection. Come to a complete stop, clear your sectors, look left, look right, all clear, move. If it's multiple lanes, stop for each lane, so to speak. Clear those, make sure there's no one coming. If there are people, that they're stopped, that they can see those lights. Because you can't always count on the sound of the siren as well, especially for newer vehicles. Newer vehicles are designed pretty good, and the soundproofing on them is pretty nice. You take an older 80s, 90s model vehicle, yeah, you're going to hear all the fucking road noise out there. You're going to hear all the sirens. You get a 2000s model vehicle, 2000 teens model vehicle, you're not going to hear the same stuff that you can if you're sitting in an 80s and 90s model vehicle. The soundproofing is just that much better in the vehicles. It can be extremely difficult to hear sirens approaching, and especially if you got the music turned up too. Windows up, air condition on, music on. Damn ambulance can be 20 yards from you, and you not hear the damn thing hardly at all. It could be fucking 10 yards away, and even then, sometimes it can be difficult to hear. Especially depending on how loud you got your damn music. So, the sound is hard to hear. And the lights, for the most part, I think a lot of agencies do good with lights. In some ways, I think agencies go fucking overboard with the amount of lights they put on vehicles. At some point, you have to say, am I driving a fucking car or am I driving a goddamn light bulb? Some of them, man, they put fucking lights all over the damn thing. It's literally like driving a light bulb. So I think agencies do, for the most part, pretty good with doing good amount of lights on the vehicles. But still, on an intersection like this, where it's hard corners right there, and there's buildings all the way up to the intersection, and you can't see around that intersection very well. It's very difficult to see anything and be able to stop in time if you're going at a great speed like this officer was. So, going way too fast, not stopping for intersections, and he ends up hitting this guy. Looking at the nsc.org, emergency vehicles. In 2020, 180 people died in crashes involving emergency vehicles. The majority of these deaths were occupants of non-emergency vehicles, 56%. Deaths among pedestrians accounted for another 25%, while emergency vehicle drivers represented 11%, and emergency vehicle passengers accounted for about 5% of the deaths. The majority of these deaths, 69%, occurred in multi-vehicle crashes. Crashes involving police vehicles accounted for the most deaths, 132, followed by ambulances, 31, and fire trucks, 17. And then it says, use the interactive chart to explore more trends. So it's not just police cars that this shit happens to. It's also ambulances and fire trucks. And also, when you get into the fire service, for all you city dwellers out there, there are volunteer firefighters out in the county who drive their personal vehicles, and they can have license siren on them. So there are also accidents that occur with them as well. But it's not just something that it's just unique to police. Other emergency service units experience these kind of things as well. But the biggest thing is a lot of them are avoidable. There are some that, it's because, another person ran a light and hit a vehicle. You can't fucking do much about that, right? But when it comes across, coming to red lights and stop signs, these are avoidable because you do have the ability to stop and or significantly slow down to where you can hit those brakes suddenly if you see a car starting to proceed through and avoid a collision. If you're just blasting through intersections like this, you're putting other people at risk and putting yourself at risk too. There's a lot of cops who just have died in simple car accidents, just going to calls, even going to a call that wasn't even a dangerous call to fucking begin with. Like a call that, out of control juvenile, or going to a call for whatever, like something that was not, like a cliche bank robber call, like, oh shit, guns blazing, whatever. Like, they were just going to a simple fucking call and died in a damn car wreck. And that sucks. To die in a car wreck going to something that wasn't even going to be that fucking great of a story. It wasn't even going to be that high speed of a fucking call in and of itself. Vehicles are extremely dangerous. Vehicle accidents account for a good majority of the deaths here in the U.S. And it's something that I think is a little underreported in a way. Of course, the media always wants to latch on to gun deaths, how many people have died by guns, etc. If the news media started focusing on vehicle deaths, they would run out of fucking time to be able to accurately report all these damn car accident deaths. I mean, it would just be overwhelming. They'd have to have more than one news channel dedicated to covering all the crashes where people die. They're just that fucking overwhelming. But people have lost touch on reality with that fact. Anymore, unless it's something like super sad and serious, like some kids died in a car wreck or something like that. You think about, the last time you saw a news article within your region about a car crash and someone dying. That one and done article was the fucking end of it. Like, no one talked about it since then. Unless, they were friends and family and they knew the person. But you watch something on the news, you see a little news snippet about someone dying in a car crash, you'll never fucking hear about that shit again. Unless it happened to involve an emergency vehicle and the people being sued. Or, it's something super, super sensitive like kids dying in a car wreck. Other than that, you're not going to fucking hear about that shit again. Someone being killed by a gun, the anti-gun crowd, their narrative, you're going to constantly hear about this. So there are people out there who legitimately believe that more people die from guns than they do cars. And that's not reality at all. You are extremely more likely to die in a car wreck than you are to die at the hands of a burglar or a robber, mugger, whatever. Which is also why I say you should have medical gear. Because you are more likely to come across a medical emergency than you are a robber or some other, deadly force scenario where you got to use your gun on someone. You're going to be more likely faced with a scenario where you got to use your Band-Aid on someone than your gun. Anyway, I'll back this up about 10 seconds and let you watch to completion, and I'll stop talking.
I got into an accident.
23, send me a medic.
22, send me an ambulance.
What's your location? Milton and Meadow. Send me immediately. What do you have there?
I got into a crash. Send me an ambulance immediately.
10-4. Hey, that's your truck. Let me come over here.
Alright, that's it. If you like what you hear and see, go ahead and give me a like and a share. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more Monday quarterback videos. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense, thank you for watching.